As the festive season kicks in, Egyptian security agencies have been put on high alert. The government says it is deploying 230,000 officers around the country. As CGTN's Yasser Hakim reports from Cairo, the holidays have been cancelled for all security officers, according to the Interior Minister.
Forces have raised security levels around vital institutions and over 2,600 churches leading up to Christmas and New Year festivities. Last year's Christmas celebrations were marred by an attack on the Patriarch Church in Cairo that killed 30 worshippers and injured over 80. And the government announced last week it had followed a plan to bomb 2 churches in Alexandria and the New Valley.
The preventive operations by police have increased recently, as well as the information sharing and surveillance systems. This is a new strategy to prevent attacks. The latest operation uncovered terror plans to target churches and mosques. 5 terrorists were killed and 10 arrested in the raids in Alexandria.
The ISIL-affiliated groups for the first time struck a mosque in northern Sinai. They killed over 300 people during Friday prayers, prompting the forces to readjust their tactics.
Not only strategic installations and churches like before, but mosques now are being more tightly secured. Safe zones are now its radius that exceeds 900 meters. Before, it was only 50 meters. Surveillance cameras and body search equipment are installed in all buildings. Well-equipped special forces and vehicles are roaming streets ready to interfere when needed.
The government is adamant that festivities would pass by smoothly this year, unlike 2016. This would give a huge psychological boost to the security forces going into 2018. Yasser Hakim for CGTN, Cairo.
Let's now get you the latest on this, and we're joined live by Yasser Hakim in Cairo. Yasser, are the security forces targeting certain areas, or the presence can be felt across the country?
Well, both ways. They have been deploying task forces, special forces that are roaming the streets. We see convoys as we move around the streets of 2 or 3 cars roaming streets in Cairo and in the major cities as well. But the majority of the tightened security is around the churches in particular, and these roads that are close to the churches are closed down to make a safe zone, if you may call it, around the entrances to the churches and to be easier in securing these areas. Also government buildings and some of the big or major mosques are also under tight security checks. Parks will also be tightened, but not these days. The festivities haven't begun yet. There's no people going to the parks and so forth, but it will be done in the next few days.
And what's the mood like in Egypt, Yasser? Do Egyptians themselves feel safe during this festive season, or are there those that are worried to go out and enjoy?
Yes, Egyptians are actually going to enjoy the festivities. They've already started. The 25th, or the Christmas Day, is not an official holiday in Egypt, because most of the Christians in Egypt are Copts, and their holiday is on the 7th of January. That's the official holiday in Egypt. However, during the day, all Christians are allowed not to go to work, and so they can go to church on Christmas Day. And for prayers, and that's when the security is at its highest alert, securing all churches during the day. However, at night, all Egyptians celebrate Christmas by going to parties and Christmas parties and so forth, and that's why if you look at the parties, they're basically fully booked. It shows that most Egyptians are going to celebrate, not just Christians but all. And obviously, leading to the New Year as well, most of the parties and New Year celebrations have been fully booked, or at least by 80% bookings. If you look at Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada, even the Red Sea resorts where the weather is warm there, people like to go and spend the New Year and celebrate the New Year party on the beach. And there the bookings have increased from 40%, that's the normal rate now, occupancy, to around 70%. Foreigners and Egyptians going to these areas. Obviously, in previous years, before the political upheaval, it was usually 100% bookings, but right now it's around the average of 70% in these areas. So the mood at the moment is that let's go and celebrate and try to enjoy the festivities, hoping that the security will take care of the situation and to manage to neutralize any terrorist attacks that have been planned.
All right. Yasser Hakim in Cairo, thank you for joining us.